Hello, welcome to Papa Nick's Music. I am, as always, your host, Papa Nick Lewis. And today we are putting up head number 2 on my personal Mount Rushmore of Songwriters. You've seen the title, you saw the thumbnail. You know, this week, head number 2 is Billy Joel. Last week it was Randy Newman, this week it's Billy Joel. Now, by way of quick reminder, if you missed last week, my Mount Rushmore of songwriters is not necessarily a top 4. I'm not saying these are my favorite songwriters, although they are among my favorite songwriters. If I am setting up a top 10 of my favorite songwriters, all 4 of these Mount Rushmore heads are going to be in that list of top 10. But they won't necessarily be the top 4. I think that these are all very good songwriters, and I am a huge fan of them. But they're on my Mount Rushmore because I think that there is something about their songwriting that is indicative of my taste. And that's really what I'm trying to drill down into in these videos. But before I start all of that drilling, we have to talk about the subjectivity notice. We firmly believe here at Papa Nick's Music that there is no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad art. There is only art that we like and art that we do not. And as long as we keep that in mind, this is a wonderful conversation. It's entertaining, I think. It's informative. It is our chance to see the world from somebody else's perspective, and I would argue that is always a good thing. However, the conversation goes right down in the dumper as soon as somebody insists on being seen as objectively right. So just know as you're listening to this, I'm not making objective claims here. Obviously, I'm not. I don't think they can be made. So I don't intend any of this to come across as an objective analysis. If you feel the need to leave a comment, which I strongly encourage, I always love hearing from you. Just keep in mind, we're not having an objective conversation here. So if you would avoid using objective framework in your comment, I would appreciate it. The conversation will go much more smoothly. Okay? Okay. We ready to get into it? Okay, like last week, like last week, when I was talking about Randy Newman, I used as my sample, my example, one of his albums. I didn't want to deal with the whole catalog. I chose Sail Away. I'm doing the same thing this week. I'm going to talk about my affection for Billy Joel as a songwriter using examples from one of my favorite Billy Joel albums, 52nd Street. Okay? So, why is Billy Joel up on my Mount Rushmore? Well, first off, in general, the man is a craftsman. Okay? I think he is one of the best pure songwriters working. Not also a composer, not also a poet, not also a novelist, not also this or that, and just sheer songwriting. I have drawn comparisons in videos that I've done. Anytime I'm talking about Brian Wilson or the Beach Boys, I always trot out my fervent belief that if the preeminent composer of the first half of the 20th century was George Gershwin, I think the preeminent composer of the back half of the century is Brian Wilson, right? Brian Wilson is the pop rock era version of George Gershwin. I would say the same thing about Billy Joel as a songwriter. First half of the century, that's Cole Porter, Irving Berlin, right? Second half of the century, it's Billy Joel. So obviously, I think the world of him as a songwriter. I think that he is a skilled craftsman, which is one of the reasons why he's had so many blockbuster hits in his discography. And one of the reasons I think he is such a master craftsman is that his songs, many of his songs feature melodies that are comfortable, logical, easy to sing, familiar without seeming to be the same old song that I've heard 1,000 times before. On 52nd Street, we've got, and these, by the way, tend to be his hits. I think this is a big part of the reason why his singles become the monster hits that they become. Big Shot and My Life are the 2 big hits off of 52nd Street. And both of them feature melodies that they don't sound like every other song you've ever heard, but they also don't sound like at any given point you're going to hear a note that is just like, where the hell did that come from, right? There's a logical progression to the melody that is, it's satisfying. He establishes a pattern and he resolves it or he repeats it. Uh, my life, I think, is particularly good about this. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I mean, we've got a nice, smooth, gentle descending, and then it comes right back, and then it descends and comes right, and then it descends and comes, and it's they are waves on the shore, right? Um, his melodies are intuitive, they're graspable, they are hummable, they are singable, and I think that's one of the signs of a good melody. Obviously. Um, but, so point number one, comfortable melodies. But number two, he's not afraid to zig every once in a while. It's going to be something that still makes sense, but it's not what you're expecting. A song like Honesty, a minor hit off of 52nd Street, does this. La da 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 da. Pick a different key next time, Nick. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That going up high like that, that's not necessarily what I would expect. Everything else about the melody is that it's going down. I don't expect it to go up like that, but it does. And so he's not. I want to be careful here. I think it is possible that you could interpret me as saying that because many of his melodies are comfortable and logical and hummable, that is somehow a weakness, that they are bland or something like that. And that's not what I'm saying. He has nice, almost geometric melodies. When I am listening to music, it's at some level, it's almost like I'm looking at sheet music, right? I see the staff, and I see the lines going, I see the notes going up and down. And so that's how I think of music when I'm listening to it. When I'm listening to melodies, I see the lines. And the lines with Billy Joel's melodies are easy for me to see, and they are satisfying. That they start and then they end in a way that makes the start make sense. And if there is a downward, there's going to be an upward to balance it out, and everything kind of fits together and it works together, and it's like clockwork. And I very much appreciate that. But every once in a while, like with Honesty, he'll zig. He'll take a tack that I wasn't expecting, that doesn't fit into the line that I have seen up to this point, but it still makes sense. It still does fit in. It's just a piece of the melodic structure that I wasn't expecting to see. And he does this a lot as well. So, whether it's part one, comfortable melodies, part two, or reason one, comfortable melodies, reason two, every once in a while he'll take a sharp turn, he'll zig when I'm expecting him to zag, or whether you just see that as the same element. He has melodies that are at once comforting but also unexpected. Doesn't really matter. It's the structure of his melodies, the quality of his melodies, I think, is his great strength as a songwriter. He also, and this is number two or number three, depending on how you're counting them, has music that very often underscores, reinforces the lyrics. The lyrics and the music have a reciprocal relationship in Billy Joel's songs that I'm not saying he's the only one that does it, but he does it really well. Good examples on 52nd Street are the song Stiletto. I mean, the whole song is about the quasi-sadomasochistic relationship that the speaker has with the woman who is, cutting him deep and, loves to watch the blood spill and all that sort of stuff. And there's a relationship dynamic here that we could get into one of these days if we want to talk about symbolism and imagery. But the metaphor in the lyrics is she's good with her stiletto. You don't even see the blade, right? I mean, she is really good with that stiletto. And the music is stabbing. Ba-boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, all the way through it. It's stabbing, and the lyrics are stabbing, and everything in that's a stabby kind of song. And I love it, by the way. So the music very often works in tandem with the lyrics for the theme or the central conceit of the song, or the image of the song, whatever, however you want to think of it. Music and lyrics work together in his songs. And then finally, while we're talking about him as a lyricist, he is a damned good lyricist. He works very well with words. I mean, his music, there's a lot of notes in those in what he's playing, right? He's very much a frilly guy. He's not a chord pounder. He's doing lots of Mozartian finger work in his piano playing. Boy, that sounded borderline lascivious. But he's also a very good lyricist. I mean, a very good wordsmith. Although I don't like that label. And the examples I would pick off of 52nd Street first is Rosalinda's Eyes. I love Rosalinda's Eyes. I love the fact that when we're talking about music and lyrics working together, the whole point of Rosalinda's Eyes is that the speaker is a musician who is having a hard time standing out. But he can deal with that as long as he knows that Rosalinda is watching him, because Rosalinda knows that he's a great musician, even if he can't break out. And the keyboard that he's playing is an electric keyboard that, as soon as the song really starts up, it just fades into the background. It's a lovely, lovely choice, I think. But the lyric, the last verse, all alone in a Puerto Rican band, union wages, wedding clothes. Hardly anyone has seen how good I am, but Rosalinda says she knows. That one line, union wages, wedding clothes. That's good. That is good imagery. That is communicating so much about the type of gig that he's playing. He's all alone in the Puerto Rican band, and they are blue-collar musicians. This is not art. He's background music at a wedding. Union wages, wedding clothes. Oh, it's a wonderful little line. I love it. But the grand champion here, the best lyric, I think, pound for pound, on 52nd Street has got to be Zanzibar. We've got the structure of the first two verses is two groups of 4 lines. The first group sets up a sports image. The second group sets up the speaker's attempt to romance this woman. So the game of the sport, and then the game of the romance, right? In the first verse, Ali dances, and the audience applauds. Though he's bathed in sweat, he hasn't lost his style. Ali, don't you go downtown. You gave away another round for free. Okay, so that's the first 4 lines. And in all of that, the only thing that comes out that has that emerges as being like poetic language is we've got rhyme. Ali, don't you go downtown. You gave away another round. Town round. We've got, and that's right next to each other, so it's nice and visible. And then we get into the second group of 4 lines. Me, I'm just another face in Zanzibar, but the waitress always serves a secret smile. She's waiting out in Shantytown. She's going to pull the curtains down for me. For me. Now, got that saying? Shantytown, curtains down. But if you compare those first 4 lines to those second 4 lines, Ali dances and the audience applauds. Me, I'm just another face at Zanzibar. Okay, that's a very near rhyme. We've got a repetition of almost the same vowel sound in plauds and bar. Though he's bathed in sweat, he hasn't lost his style, but the waitress always serves a secret smile. Allie, don't you go downtown. She's waiting out in Shantytown. You gave away another round for free. She's going to pull the curtains down for me. Got a nice tight rhyme scheme. Okay, a couple of them are a little on the loose side, but the overall scheme is nice and tight. We also have the occasional bits like the waitress always serves a secret smile. And I love those words working together. We have in the second verse, Rose, he knows he's such a credit to the game. Rose, he knows. I love that. Such credit to the game. Me, I'm trying just to get to second base. Game, base. Repetition of that A sound. But the Yankees steal the headlines every time. And I'd steal it if she only gave the sign. Repetition of the vowel again. Melodrama is so much fun in black and white for everyone to see. The inning isn't over yet. She's going to give the go-ahead for me. Rhyming C and me. I mean, it's a wonderful, tight structure that completely goes under the radar. I don't think anybody is really noticing that. I don't think there are, well, I can't say I don't think anybody is noticing it. There are going to be people out there like me who love that sort of stuff, who picked up on it. But I think the casual listener is not listening for that. The casual listener is not seeing that slight rhyme, slant rhyme between applause and Zanzibar, style, smile, go downtown, another round, Shantytown, curtains down, for free, for me. I don't think the average listener is paying attention to that. But I do pay attention to that, and I love it when I see it, and Billy Joel does that kind of stuff a lot. The man is a lyric craftsman as much as he is a musical craftsman, and I love that. I love Billy Joel's songwriting. And that's why Billy Joel is head number 2 on my Mount Rushmore. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Drop that note down below. I always love hearing from you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you go down and click that like button. And while you're down there clicking, if you haven't already done so, I'd appreciate it if you'd click the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to me, so I very much appreciate it. Again, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And I hope that the rest of your day is glorious. See you soon.